Lesson 2.7 is solving proportions using cross products. So in a proportion, a cross product is the product of the numerator of one ratio and the denominator of the other ratio. Remember, proportions are ratios set equal to each other. The cross products of a proportion must be equal. This is the cross product property. So if A over B equals C over D, remember B cannot equal 0 and D cannot equal 0 because you cannot divide by 0, then A times D must equal B times C. A scale drawing is a two-dimensional drawing of an object in which the dimensions of the drawing are in proportion to the dimensions of the object. So you're scaling it down, you're making it smaller. They do that a lot when they're preparing to build a float, so that probably went on over the weekend would be my guess. A scale model is a three-dimensional model of an object in which the dimensions of the model are in proportion to the dimension of the object. So we have a scale drawing, which is like what an architect would use, and then we have a scale model. They use that in the building trades program, I know over at Votech, where they make smaller versions of a large scale project, like a garage or something. They do it in a smaller proportion. And finally, the scale of a scale drawing or scale model relates the drawings or model's dimensions and the actual dimensions. So it could be 5 times as big, or 5 centimeters represents 2.5 meters in the actual actual project. All right, let's go ahead and solve some of these cross products. So we're going to solve, and you know that you're going to go ahead and cross multiply. 20 times x is 20x. And 8 times 35 is 280. This is what I expect to see as far as your work. I don't just want you to take 8 times 35 divided by 20. You will divide by 20, but I need to see the actual work. So then x equals 14, sorry. 14. Okay, in some cases you're going to have it where you're going to set up an equation. This is just a one-step equation, but you're going to have a multiple-step equation. We have y plus 8 times 9. So this is really 9 times the product of y plus 8. I'm going to set it up and do the distributive property. And 21y. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute the 9. That gives me 9y plus 72 equals 21y. It would make more sense here if I subtract the 9y from both sides. Not necessarily more sense, but it's going to make it go a little bit quicker if I do it that way. So 21 minus 9 is 12y. Divide by the 12. And y equals 6. So it is important that you do the distributive property here, because otherwise people just tend to make a mistake and go 9y plus 8, but you have to do 9 times that whole quantity. Let's try another one here. We have 28 times the quantity z minus 5 equals 24z. Distribute the 28 to get 28z. 28 times negative 5 is negative 140, so minus 140 equals 24z. I will do the same thing, and I'm going to subtract the 28z just because it's quicker. In this one step I can get the variables on the same side and the constants on the other. So negative 140 equals negative 4z, and when I divide that by negative 4, I end up with z equals positive 35. Alright, this next example right here, I want you to try on your own, and then tomorrow when you come back you'll compare it with the answer that your AB partner had. So 2 over n equals 14 over m plus 30. So I want you to come back in with all your work shown on that one. Next, we're going to use a scale on a blueprint like I was talking about earlier. The blueprint of an office building has a scale of 2 inches to 15 feet. So in the drawing, 2 inches represents 15 actual feet in the office building. A completed scale model of the building is about 14.5 inches tall. Estimate the height of the office building. So when you do a scale model, you set up the proportion. I have 2 inches to 15 feet. The rule here is if I put inches in the numerator and feet in the denominator, then for my other ratio I put inches in the numerator, and then my feet I'll just call x, that's in the denominator. So 2 times x is 2x. 15 times 14.5 is 217.5. Divide by 2, and I get 108 and 75 hundredths feet. Make sure that you label it feet. So inches to feet equals inches to feet. Here we have a bag of large breed dog food. Recommends feeding a dog 3 cups of food a day for every 40 pounds of body weight. A dog weighs 98 pounds. How much food should the dog be eating a day? So I'm going to do cups of food over weight. So 3 cups for 40 pounds equals x cups for 98 pounds. So I have cups over pounds, cups over pounds. 3 times 98 is 294. That equals 40x. Divide by 40. And I get 7 and 35 hundredths cups equals x. So for me, honestly, for my dog, I'd probably end up giving him 7.5 cups a day, just to round it off to make it nice. All right, next. Another blueprint problem. We have a blueprint that has a scale of 3 centimeters to 5 meters. Use the given measurements to find the actual distance. So I'm going to go 3 centimeters to 5 meters equals 4.5 centimeters to x meters. That gives me 3x equals 4.5 times 5 is 22.5. Divide by 3. And that gives me x equals 7.5 meters. And again, just like with the earlier problem, I want you to go ahead and come in with this example 6 completed. I want to know how many meters according to this scale if you have 8.1 centimeters. That's it as far as the notes are concerned. So make sure that you come in with those completed, with those additional 2 problems finished as well. And here's your assignment if you want to start it. This page 117 is actually lesson 2.6, just a couple extra cross product problems for you. And then 2.7 starts on 123, goes to 125, 8 to 30 even, 33 to 36, and 39.